Hey everybody, real quick Nando cut video here. In between filming bits for a different video, I just wanted to talk about the Ant-Man 3 trailer because I've seen some discourse online. I had a tweet that went out that was something to the effect of like, I really like how this Ant-Man 3 trailer just showed us the whole movie. And some people said, well, it didn't do that. It just, and obviously, you know, it's hyperbole because it's a 2-minute trailer for a 2-hour movie. But I do think the Ant-Man 3 trailer did a couple of specific things that I don't really love that other trailers don't do. And I think you can kind of see, if you look at the trailer, I think they stand out in a way that a lot of people, I think, posted similar things like, oh, that probably shouldn't have been in there. And I just want to go over them. Real quick, there were some things I do like about the trailer. I think the music was cool. I like to focus on Kang. I think that's smart. I think he is gonna be the character that stands out of this movie that everyone loves, besides maybe like Bill Murray's guy or whatever. But the idea, and maybe MODOK too, and the fact that we have a live action MODOK in a trailer for a Marvel movie, the Marvel Studios big action movie, is very cool. I cannot deny that. I love that as a MODOK fan for him and for us. As you can see over my shoulder, got, you know, a lot of MODOK action figures and drawings and things like that. I just got the Marvel Legends figure, which is so funny because I got it the day the trailer came out. But I guess I want to talk about how I think the Ant-Man 3 trailer spoils some things in a way that I don't love. And I don't want to spoil them for you if you don't want to be spoiled. So I will just say, here's all I'll say about it before getting into details if you are someone who does not want to be further spoiled, which I totally understand. I think the Ant-Man 3 trailer, I think something Marvel does in trailers a lot, because they do put footage from the end of the movie into the trailer, right? The Doctor Strange trailer had Deadite zombie Doctor Strange in it. The Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer had the, you know, Shuri versus Namor fight in it. Very briefly, but like you could see it. And if you knew that beat was coming, it did kind of make like, oh, that's right, that's what we're doing. Or if you saw Doctor Strange kind of pick up the zombie corpse or say like, I'm going for the corpse or whatever. I don't think he says that. That would be really funny if that was the line though. It's corpse time. You would be like, oh, because he's gonna make that thing that was in the trailer. So stuff like that I think kind of isn't great. But they do it anyway, and it's fine because it's gonna be in toys and marketing. So like, might as well. You know, like the Shuri toy will leak before the movie comes out, so what are you losing there besides kind of revealing the location and that she fights Namor? And I do think for 90% of people, this doesn't matter. However, I also think, because people will say, well, this is why I don't go to the movie theaters early anymore. And it's like, I don't think that world exists anymore. Sure, you don't have to go to movie theaters early. They play the trailers in the lobby of the movie theater. Like, that's not great if you're trying to avoid the trailers and you put a bag over your head and just get escorted through the movie theater as to not spoil everything for you. And also, one thing that did get spoiled that I don't think is a big spoiler, so I would say anybody that doesn't want to be spoiled at all, feel free to leave. If you don't care about really, really minor things, the MODOK thing, they had the big metal MODOK in the trailer. I thought that shot looked pretty cool and like was good. Especially because I have heard the rumor of what they're going to do with MODOK, which is it's going to be a certain actor under that mask. And they wanted to hide that in the movie from Scott and them. I think that's great. I think that's a fun idea. I like the bait and switch, and I like that fans will get angry. Like, and then other fans will be like, and the directors and then will be like, oh, wait till you see the movie and then judge, because it is actually a guy with a big old face. I like that it looked dumb. I think it's strange that they put the shot of the actual face in the trailer too. And yes, it was kind of a blink and you miss it thing, but like if you go on Twitter after that trailer comes out, or probably TikTok and Instagram, and you follow people that talk about Marvel stuff, you will see that discourse. I posted about that I was like, wow, I guess they put the live action like MODOK head in there. I did it with a sensitive tag, which I think is what most people should do, at least in the beginning. But, you know, I did talk about it on Twitter. So I don't think it is cut and dry as, well, just don't go to see the trailer. Don't watch the trailer, because that stuff becomes everywhere when it goes online and even like being in the lobby of movie theaters and stuff. I don't think you can avoid it. However, beyond that, I think a lot of studios do this and it's not great. I think a lot of trailers for Avatar had some shots from the very end of Avatar that it's like, that shouldn't have been in the trailer. And I think with Marvel, it's a little different. And with Avatar, it's different too, where it's just like, you know, if you need to sell a movie like, God, Dungeons and Dragons, right? Where you have to convince people to see it, convince people it looks cool. Maybe you do put a shot, and obviously Dungeons and Dragons, weird example now, but I'm just thinking of something that's coming out soon. Or Mithrigan, right? That's another one where it's like, you want to give people as many reasons as you can to see this movie. You want to convince people to come see it because there is not an established brand besides Blumhouse that is behind this. Especially not one that most audiences will recognize. So you got to show it loud. But with Marvel and with Avatar, it's like, you got the audience. People, there will be people that will see this Ant-Man movie, and if it's good, it will have legs. It will work. Like, it will make money. I think, like Guardians is a good example of that. Like, those trailers do tend to not show very much. Like Guardians 2, at least, I remember we didn't see much of Ego. Although I guess there were some shots from the end of the fight and like them all standing together, but there wasn't context, and that's the big problem. And that's what one of the things I don't love about this new Ant-Man trailer. It can give you images, that's fine, iconography, things that can make you, oh, there's gonna be a cool action sequence in that movie. But you shouldn't have enough context to figure out what's going on. And one thing that I think this trailer does that's very strange, and here's where I'm gonna start spoiling it maybe, and this could be me completely misreading it, right? I will probably leave this video up even if I am wrong. Although I do think one of the things that I'm going to say is pretty hard to, like, there's no way that that's not how that goes. But like, this movie could begin with a shot from the end. And even so that the context is actually wrong, kind of like the Doctor Strange and America Chavez with Ponytail, like Ponytail Strange, going through that, you know, Shadow Realm or wherever they are. You'd see that and you go, wow, that's gotta be from the end of the trailer because they're fighting a big monster. And it's like, no, that's the beginning of the movie. It doesn't actually matter. It's kind of a like, you're gonna misread that, and that can be cool. I could be doing that with Ant-Man 3. I don't think I am, and I'll explain why. I think the bit in the trailer, there's two things that really got me, and I will now we're getting into spoiler territory. The first one is small, just like Ant-Man, but I think it's the bigger problem for me. There's a shot that was in the first trailer a little bit, that was in this new trailer, where Ant-Man, and it's not just a shot, it's like a sequence. We see a lot of it, where Ant-Man goes into some subatomic something or whatever, and split into two Ant-Mans. And then there's like an army of Ant-Mans, there's a big Ant-Man, and he gets kind of shredded into little ribbons, like Mr. Fantastic, honestly. That shot seems to be, from context, I'm guessing, he is. I didn't know what was going on when I saw that first shot in the trailer. Like, ooh, he's going in some weird dimension or whatever. It seems like what's happening is he's trying to get at something, some big orb or whatever, which might be one of the orbs Kang is holding that he's focusing on so much. But that part doesn't matter as much because he could be doing this to destroy it or to get it for Kang. Because I do think one of the things this trailer did well was it showed us this conflict where it's like, we didn't know that Cassie kind of, she's going through some stuff. And she's in jail and stuff. And Scott has this interesting motivation now where it's like, I don't want to help the bad guy. But also, if he can help me save my daughter and like put her on the right path, maybe give me that time back, that could be great for me. So, and for her, obviously. So that's why I'm going to work with him. I think that was good. However, we see so many shots of these Ant-Man running, lots of them, all in the same direction. And you're like, oh, this is them all trying to get to this thing, something that they had to shrink down to do that Kang couldn't do maybe on his own. And if you grow like the big one does, maybe that kills you. Like maybe you have to be small. We see the resolution to that, or at least like what I would say is almost the climax of that moment where a bunch of Ant-Mans stack on top of each other like ants, which I think is cool. And again, spoiler, 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 although a thing in the trailer. And he's kind of almost dying, like he's crushed under the weight of this thing. He's like, oh, Cassie, I'm sorry. Fine. There is also a shot in the trailer because we're going like, how is he going to get out? Or how's he going to get to the thing? It's too far up. The trailer also features a shot of Wasp coming through the thing, getting turned into many wasps and catching him. That is what I don't like. You could set up some sort of big question or a big danger or something like that, set up a mechanic, fine. Don't give me the resolution. Don't show me how he's gonna get out of it. That's what I go to the movie for. Because, like, yeah, we know, some of the basics of this story. Kang probably isn't gonna destroy the whole universe in the end of this movie. All the main characters that are in peril are not gonna die. Maybe one or two of them will, but not all of them. But it's these small victories and how the characters, grow and solve problems and stuff. And when I'm watching that movie now, because I saw that shot of Hope in the trailer where she goes in and gets him, it's like, well, that's how he's gonna get saved. And maybe they've changed it. Maybe that's actually Cassie, and that moment will be very different, and they very cleverly switched the colors. I don't think they did, because that shot makes too much sense. However, the moment that got me, and I think the moment that pissed off a bunch of people, is the end, where we see Kang and Scott just wailing on each other. And this is the bit that I'm like, this could be in the beginning of the movie. This could be Kang trying this already, and how it failed. That I don't think it is, because we get Kang beating up Scott and like a fist fight, and that's cool. But then the helmet is destroyed. Kang says something like, "You're gonna lose, Ant-Man." And I'm like, or no, Kang says, "I think you thought you could win." And then we see like maybe the broken helmet or something. If the trailer ended there, I think that's pretty good. Because of course, Kang's gonna fight Scott at some point. And of course, Scott thought he could win, and there's going to be a point where it doesn't seem like he can win. But we as the audience see that moment in the trailer and are supposed to ask ourselves the question, how's Scott going to get out of this one? How is Scott going to win? And is he going to be able to win? What's going to happen here? And that's where a lot of trailers would cut, right? It would be like if in the Doctor Strange trailer, for Multiverse of Madness, by the way, when I talk about Doctor Strange, that's what I'm talking about. If in that trailer, America and Doctor Strange were talking, and we heard the line from her, "Are you gonna kill me and take my power?" Or like, "Kill me, take my power," or whatever. And then we also heard the reaction to that, the resolution. Again, we're doing resolution of that moment where Ant-Man says, "I don't need to win, I just need you to lose," or whatever General Hux said in Star Wars. And it's like, no, that's how the whole movie is now. There's gonna be this whole big set piece that's gonna be set up where Ant-Man is like trying to get something, and it's like, oh, I think I know what's going on. And then Kang's gonna beat him, and we're all gonna go in the movie. In the moment, we're supposed to go, oh no, more peril, for he's gonna die and everyone's gonna lose and whatever. And Kang thinks he knows what's going on, but then there's that big turn, and it's like, no, Ant-Man wanted him to think that, but he's actually just trying to stall so both of them either die or get stuck in the quantum realm or whatever, so everybody else can escape this great sacrifice Scott is making. You don't put that in the trailer, And this would be like for Multiverse of Madness, if the trailer not only had that line where she's like, "Take my power," or whatever, it had Doctor Strange going, "No, you use it to kick Wanda into a big star." The tension at the heart of this movie is probably going to be pretty obvious from the beginning, especially once we meet Kang. And I think we've done some good things about this where, like, we don't know what's going on in the big fight in the quantum realm between, Kang, MODOK, and whoever else is there, because we've seen Bill Murray wasn't in this trailer. Other actors are in this that we haven't seen. So, like, they've hidden some good stuff. But, man, that line just should not have been in there. You end it with, "You thought you could win, Ant-Man, crush his helmet, Ant-Man Quantumania." That would have been great. Like, it's almost like, it would be like if that Iron Man 3 trailer had the mansion fall down on Tony, and then we saw Tony fly out, and we saw the whole resolution of that. And it's just like, that's not how these are supposed to go. Like, I don't think these trailers, and I think with the Wasp thing, it's easy to miss that. Took me 2 watches to catch it, and, I'm going to do that, but maybe a lot of people aren't. Although I do think if you're watching that in a movie theater, it's going to be more obvious. But if you don't, if you're not paying attention, you can miss it. I don't think you can miss the line, the "I just need you to lose" line. And that's why I think it's such a mistake. Otherwise, I think this movie looks like it could be very cool. Kang looks great. Like I said, the conflict with Scott and Cassie, interesting. Wasp's costume, great. Not a fan of the actor. Again, we're doing the Shuri thing, but you know, at least in this context, it seems like she's going to play a much smaller role than, say, Scott. And I like that they did not show us whatever the good guys or rebels or whatever. And I like that Janet didn't explain whatever things she knows about Kang. I like that we didn't see why they build the quantum whatever, like, message thingy. I think there was a lot of good stuff in this trailer. However, I also think there were a lot of things that I wish were not in this trailer. Honestly, at this point, I think Marvel could release a much more stripped down version of the first trailer, like a very teasery, very, you know, shows you nothing. The first trailer as the second trailer, and then that's it. I think these movies market themselves to some extent, and I think fans are excited about them enough, and non-fans are seeing trailers and seeing billboards and, you know, people posting about Ant-Man enough that they will go see the movie either way. This is just me, might be just me at least. But I guess this, to sum it up, I am fine with the trailer showing you conflict, but if a trailer gives you context or resolution for that conflict, that's a no for me. That is bad. And I like, no, you know, I feel like I spent a lot of time looking at trailers. I wrote like my thesis paper about movie trailers in college. This is something that I've thought about. What's the best way to do it? What's the right amount of your showing? Because it's interesting. It's this weird kind of nexus of marketing and art, and you know, it's a very delicate balance where you know when something's bad, when it's not selling you enough, and you also know when something's too much, like selling you too much. And I think the context of what movie we're looking at, like with Mithrigan, it's like, well, that movie, you might have to sell it more, but yeah, Marvel, just don't show as much in the trailers. Guardians coming out later this year. Marvels, please do not show as much as you are showing in this trailer. I would love it if they said we're not showing anything from the third act, but I understand, like, costumes and toys and stuff, they will get leaked, so like you kind of have to. But you know, I don't know, play your cards closer to your chest. That is just coming from me, a fan who has to watch the trailers, not just for work, but like who goes to movie theaters and watches TV and stuff, and cannot completely avoid this. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.